All right, happy Saturday night, everybody. This is Saturday Night Gaming with Mark W. and Rob Bob, except Rob Bob elected to just hang out in the audience tonight, and that's okay. Tonight we're going to continue playing 4 Against Darkness, which is a fun solo dungeon crawling game that I started playing last week. It was my first session ever. I had a ton of fun playing that game and chatting with you folks. And yeah, I don't want to go over all the rules, but a very quick introduction. It is a well, it's kind of like a dungeon crawl game. It's almost like a roguelike video game, and you draw the map as you go. I have an overhead cam to my left showing the map for your convenience, and I will zoom it in and out as needed. Also, it's a convenient area for me to roll the dice, and there are a lot of dice rolls in this game. What else? We have a party of characters, as you do in sort of role-playing type games, and we have 4 characters, hence the name 4 Against Darkness. We actually already beat the final boss, who is in this room here. But see, we killed the dragon here. But that's where I aborted last time. I was having so much fun with the stream that I aborted before I got out of the dungeon, essentially. So what I have to do to win is just get out, head back to the entrance. Each room that I backtrack into will it'll have a chance of a wandering monster appearing. So we might have to fight some monsters as we go. And I think we could explore more if we want to. And after we leave, I think we can basically start over again with a new dungeon and the same characters. Let's introduce ourselves to the characters. Hey, Stu, how's it going? Our characters are the stupidly named Leprechaun, the Halfling up here. And next to him is our very valuable and capable barbarian named Friendly. Friendly the Barbarian. Suddenly my nose started really itching when I started streaming. Hey, cyber friends. Hello, Ryan and Stu. Zorldo, the very incapable, emphasis on the in prefix, wizard. And lastly, Ralph Wiggum, the cleric. Um, Yeah, so that is the gist of our party. I just realized I like to use counters, and I forgot to have them ready. The counters represent the party. You have to kind of list the marching order, like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 being the front rank. And I like to use counters for the enemies too, just for fun, but they're on my shelf, so bear with me just one moment. All right, I'm cracking open my 7th edition 7.5 Tunnels and Trolls set that includes all the counters that I've been playing with. So, let's see. Here is the counter that I've been using for our barbarian. I will zoom in a bit so you can see. Stu says the stream is proof that Mark is entertaining. Okay, he thinks the game stuff. Here's our cleric, Ralph Wiggum. She looks like kind of like a nun, so I figure that kind of represents a healer type. We also have our hobbit friend. Here's a very unassuming hobbit. This must be Leprechaun, the hobbit. In fact, let's make him look more Irish looking. This guy has a red hair and beard, so he's Leprechaun, the hobbit. Maybe he's named Leprechaun because he looks like a leprechaun. So he changed his appearance. And lastly, we have Zorldo, the wizard, who looks kind of like Doctor Strange. And those are our characters. I have other counters for enemies, like here's some skeletons. But you know, I don't really have a ton of like any one kind. So if I have to fight like 6 orcs, there might be like, you know, this fairy could be one of them. In fact, I used fairies to represent vampire frogs last time. So anyway, Stu said the game doesn't suck. It's just difficult to convey the extreme excitement on a stream. And yes, there's no picture of Ralph Wiggum. I should make one, right? I could always, you know, cut out my own cardboard and make a Ralph Wiggum. That would be pretty funny, I think. Anyway, yeah, so last time I did spend a lot of time just poring over the rules to figure out how the heck to play, and I'm hoping there'll be less of that this time. However, as I leave the dungeon, I have to figure out what exactly I do at that time. Can I buy equipment and stuff? I think probably so. And then we'll start a new dungeon. So let's pick up where we left off. We are in the room where we killed the dragon, who is the final boss, and we're gonna head to the next room. We're just gonna backtrack, I guess, and get out of here. By the way, what happened is in the final boss fight, Mr. Zorldo here, the wizard who looks like Doctor Strange, he had to back out of the fight because he was almost dead, and he used his ring of teleportation to do so. He was like, "I'm peacing out of here, folks." So he was in the next room, and therefore the ring that he had, you probably can't really read my chicken scratch, but it is no longer a teleport ring. It's one shot. It is now just a ring worth one die plus one gold pieces. So when we get out of the dungeon, presumably we can sell that for, like 2 to 7 gold. Yeah, how's everyone doing tonight, by the way? Thanks for the likes already. 3 likes. I didn't even do anything. I can just say, all right, I'm done. I earned 3 likes. Yeah, let's go get it to. We're gonna backtrack. We are here now. Normally you don't have to keep track of where you are because it's obvious, but I'm thinking as I backtrack, it might be beneficial to have some kind of marker just to indicate where we are. And Stu said after the battle, the other 3 people should beat him to death for being a coward and a deserter. That's fair enough. So why don't we just use, say, the barbarian as our marker for where we are on the map. All right, so we're backing to here. Now we roll on the wandering monster chart. Actually, we just roll to see if there is one first. I believe it is just on a roll of a 1, you find one. But let's pour through the rules. This is the part you like to see. I'm actually going to just hold them in front of me as I flip through it. And then I'll plop it in front of the stand once I find the answer that I'm looking for. Of course, I could have done this ahead of time. And, I was like, yeah, I'm going to have plenty of time to prepare, make sure I know all the rules. But, that doesn't happen. They have quite a FAQ in the back, by the way. I should probably read that. So, backtracking. There was a section on backtracking. Think I'm getting close. I always think I'm getting... This thing is laid out so stupidly. I know I said that about 20 times last time, but there's no, coherent organization to it, in my opinion. Okay. Retracing your steps. So if you're going skiing, Ryan, does that mean you have to wake up at 5 o'clock or something? That was my experience with ski trips when I was younger. All right, so sometimes you need to go back through rooms that you've already visited. For every room or section of corridor that you visit, roll a die. On a 1, your party is attacked by wandering monsters. Wandering monsters always sneak on you, so they attack first, beginning with the characters at the rear of your marching order. After 1 turn, if you are in a room, the party will spread out and protect its weaker members. So you may distribute the wandering monsters' attacks like you would in a normal combat. Okay, so why don't I just switch the order? Can't I just do that? Okay, I'm switching the order. I don't think that's cheating, right? Anyway, so that means, yeah, I'm putting the weak wizard and the leprechaun halfling in the front, and my stronger guys in the back. Because as we backtrack, the guys in the back get hit first. I hope I'm not abusing the rule, but I don't think I am, because you can actually encounter wandering monsters in other scenarios too. I don't know. It does feel kind of cheesy though. So let me make sure I'm not doing anything wrong here. Let me read it over again real quick. I think the drawback would be is if I'm in a corridor. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with it. Let's go. Okay. So here we are. We're in this room. Let's roll. If I roll a 1, we find somebody. We do not. Okay, now we are here. If we roll a 1, we find somebody. We do not. Keep going. You know it's a drill. 1 means a monster. Nope. 1 means a monster. Yes, we have encountered a wandering monster. And we are in, again, I'll just leave this guy here, I guess. We are in this room. Why don't I take a different marker to mean the whole party, right? This can represent the whole party. So this marker here is the whole party. There we go. All right. Yeah, Ryan, I think the reason for me is that when I was going skiing, coming from Long Island, it was like, you had to drive to upstate or, Vermont or something like that. Anyway, let's fight our wandering monster. So I'm gonna Stu says, hey Mark, it's just you. I'll get back to Wander. Oh, he's a Wandering Monster. Stu's surprising me. Okay. The Wandering Monster table. Not the Weird Monsters table. Wandering Monsters are something different entirely. Or to set up an airplane joke. Wandering Monsters are a different thing altogether. So I'm looking for the Wandering Monsters table. You would think it would be in the back with all the other tables, but no. Actually, it might not be a specific Wandering Monsters. It might just be roll on the usual table. Oh, I know you guys give me the likes because I flip through the rulebook half the time. Really, though, it's like, you know, once I learn something once or twice or 3 times, I bat it down. Okay, Wandering Monsters. Let me show you what I'm reading. Over here, we've got, this is continue from where I left off in the Wandering Monster section. If you are re-entering a room occupied by a monster that you bribed, wandering monsters may not appear in the room. Roll reaction for the monster. No, we don't care about bribes. Okay. So what the heck is a wandering monster? That's the question. I mean, is it like the minions table, or I kind of assumed there was going to be an obvious and separate wandering monster table, but that would be too easy. All right, let's check the contents, the table of contents that never helps me. Okay, in 1 minute, I'm just going to make up a ruling. We could say you roll on, I don't know, roll on one of these monster charts, I guess. Oh, here we go. Maybe this is what we do. This is, actually in a special events table that I didn't actually, you know, I'm not actually rolling on this table. And, yeah, these are my glasses. That's right. That's right, Stu. Anyway, I'm not actually rolling on this special events table, but it does mention wandering monsters here, so maybe that's how they work in general. Kind of wish it was more obvious, but, you know, it is what it is. So it says wandering monsters attack the party. Roll d6. 1 to 3, roll on the vermin table. 4, roll on the minions table. 5 on the weird monsters table. 6, roll on the boss table. Re-roll any small dragons. A boss monster met as a wandering monster has no chance of being the final boss. Okay, thanks for cleaning up that mess too, by the way. So we're going to assume that's how it works. But yeah, so let's roll. And we got a 5, which means the weird monsters table. Uh-oh. So we encountered a weird monster last time. It was our very first combat. And it was some unpronounceable thing that, what did it do? It poisoned us or something? It was called a Catoblepas. And it had a deadly gaze, I guess kind of like a Medusa or a Gorgon, but it didn't actually turn us to stone. It just harmed us in some way, in some vaguely defined way. Okay, here we go. Weird monsters table. Let's roll. We got a 2, which is an Iron Eater. Let's zoom in on the Iron Eater. It's a purple people eater, but with iron. Okay, so it is level 3. Hey Arturo, how's it going? Arturo said we had enough of Stu game reviews. Are you gonna kick him out too? I need to watch my language? What? What did I say? Iron Eater, level 3, 4 life, 3 attacks, no treasure. Defense rolls against the Iron Eater do not enjoy bonus from heavy armor, shield, and light armor count. If the monster hits, the character takes no damage, but oh, this is like a rust monster in D&D. Oh crap. Oh, that's bad. All right. So if the or net hack, by the way, if the monster hits, the character takes no damage but loses his armor, shield, main weapon, or 3d6 gold in this order. Okay, good thing we're getting out of the dungeon and we have a bunch of gold. So if we lose a couple of, you know, pieces of armor or weapons, we can always buy some new ones, assuming we, make it to the exit alive. But I think we'll be okay. It'll just suck a little bit. Reactions, like so, if I don't, charge into the fray, its reactions D6, 1 flee, 2 to 3 bribe, 4 to 6 fight. I feel like you can't do that with a wandering monster because it's supposed to be they surprise you and attack, but um, I'm going to do a very quick live Googling. Everybody wants to see that. 4 against darkness. I feel like I can't just wait and see, basically. Monsters always sneak on you. Wandering monsters always sneak on you, so they attack first, beginning with the characters at the rear of the marching order. Okay, let's go with I can't wait and see, because I usually don't pick that option anyway. Ryan says, I'm off plant-based and back to meat, Arturo. I realize I can only be a real man by eating meat. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna assume that I cannot wait around or bribe him, and he just attacks me, and he hits the guys in the front first. It's gotta be a better explanation for how this works exactly. I don't want to waste time flipping through the rules, so I'm gonna say that I'll just when it's his turn to attack, I will say all the attacks will land on these two guys in the rear. Quite conveniently shuffled in the reverse order, essentially. Um, but yeah, does that mean they get the attack first? I guess they do if they're kind of sneak attacking, right? I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna do one more quick flipping through of the rules. I know it's gotta be, it's gotta be something that's better defined rather than me just kind of guessing. Fight to the death. Well, this is the one you called a babe last time, Ryan. I'm zoomed in too much, but. Anyway, how to attack monsters. I really don't know what's with these bots or whatever they are, because they're coming at me like every stream, like somewhere in the range of 1 to 5 times a stream, maybe 4. And I just don't understand what it's about. They just say some gibberish, and I don't know I don't know what's going on. It's a little bit unnerving because it's just very strange. Stu said he gets tons of them too. So my daughter's been into the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, that bad 90s cartoon. And I've got the theme song in my head from the intro. And she sings it a lot too. Alright, they always sneak on you, so they attack first. Alright, I guess that's basically what I need. They attack first. So that's actually quite big. I found a lot of my ease, the ease of combat that I've been finding. Generally, I find combat to be easy. It's pretty much mostly due to the fact that I kill everybody or a lot of the enemy before they can even go. What is Sonic Underground about? Because when we were flipping through them on YouTube, I think we actually did watch one of those episodes, and it seemed like it was like trying to be darker or something. I don't know what the hell it was, but we kind of went back to the original one. In fact, on Pluto TV, which is a service that my wife gets from her job, it's like they have all these channels, right? And there's actually a Sonic and Mario channel I heard. I didn't see it myself, but like it's actually live broadcast, and you can select from one of like 100 channels. It's interesting, like just within that one streaming service. Anyway, let's get into the combat. So I had last time a paper that I use to keep track of the combat. Here it is. And this one is a weirdo called an Iron Eater. I don't know if I don't think I count these guys as minions though. So here we have the Iron Eater in my horrible doctor writing. I should make more money because I write like a doctor, right? And Stu says it's like Sonic has two siblings. They're in a band together. They were abandoned by their mother. They live in some post-apocalyptic setting. Okay, I wasn't really paying attention to it. I was just like looking up once in a while, and I was like, What is this thing?" Yeah. So the Iron Eater. Let's get his info written down. And let's kill him. He's level 3, and there's only one of him, thankfully. And he has 4 life, 3 attacks. So he gets to attack. I guess I'm rolling for 3 different targets. Like he could attack him, and then him again or something. All right, let's do it. He's gonna ruin my equipment. So let's refresh my memory. I guess I'm making defense rolls. And as it said here, for the Iron Eater, defense rolls against the Iron Eater do not enjoy bonus from heavy armor, shield, and light armor count. Okay, I don't even have heavy armor, so that's okay. All right, so let's see who he attacks. We'll say Ralph Wiggum is a roll of a 1, 2, 3, and what's his name? Friendly the Barbarian is a roll of a 4, 5, or 6. So this is his first of 3 attacks. He goes after Ralph Wiggum. I'm helping. All right. So Ralph Wiggum gets a defense roll. He actually gets +1 or +2. I'm trying to remember the situations for that. Yeah, I think +2 is with the shield. So he actually rolls +2, which isn't bad. And because the monster's level is what, 3, then I only need a 2 or higher because 1 is an automatic fail. I think I've got that right. Now I'm starting to wonder if shields don't work when you're surprised from behind or something like that. So let me look at that. The first time I've been surprised. Yeah, I'll just take a quick glance at the shield section, and if it's not clear, I'll make something up. Here we go, shield. This gives a +1 to the user's defense rolls. This bonus does not apply when the character is fleeing from a combat or when he's surprised by wandering monsters. Oh! Okay, so we cannot use the shield because I guess we're holding it in front of us and we're attacked from the rear. I don't know. All right, so in that case, we need a it's still a 2 or higher, right? Because if I get +1 and the target is 3 because its level is 3, then it's a 2 or higher. Focus, focus. I'm just looking at the main. There we go. Main camera is being dumb. Let's blow it up so you can see the dice rolling action. It's a 5. Fatty Fat makes the save, or whatever you want to call it. Name's not Fatty Fat. Why am I calling Fatty Fat? I guess that's his new name now, Fatty Fat. Let's see, what's a good way to manage these windows? I could just do this. Put it here for now. You can see my beautiful face. Okay. So as a second, the Rust Monster or Iron Eater second attack, we'll do the same roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, he's going after Friendly the Barbarian, who has +1 on defense due to his light armor. And so again, 2 or higher, and he's good. He made it, and third attack, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He goes against Friendly the Barbarian again, who again needs a 2 or higher, and he passes. All right, so these attacks are not hitting very often, which is fine. So now let's beat the crap out of it. So I think what it was saying was in the first round of the Wandering Monster Combat, only these 2 guys can attack, and then the next round everybody attacks. Let's just go with that. All right, so question is, do we want to use any magic? I feel like we might as well try magic, because last time we found that I was kind of saving them for a rainy day, and then by the time I got to the final boss, who was a small dragon, I found that none of the spells actually applied. And so Zoraldo the Wizard still has all three of his spells in his brain. And I don't know, we could try one. And Ryan said, "Don't hurt me, Super Nintendo monster." Okay, so why don't we try sleep? If you sleep, you just automatically kill the thing because it's sleeping. All right, so Zoraldo the Wizard is attempting sleep. Let's look up sleep, of course. Yeah, I really need to like stick in some post-it notes with like the topic, you know, to use them as bookmarks, sort of. But I was hoping to do that this week, but you know, like I haven't looked at this book until now again. The time though, I was so excited. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be reading up on this and checking all the FAQs and everything. Because I had so much fun last time, quite honestly, especially with that dramatic ending. I think only Arturo was here for the dramatic ending, but it was awesome. Sleep. This spell works like an attack roll. It does not affect undead dragons and certain other monsters. The wizard adds his level to the roll. Sleep. That's what I'm a Viking. Sorry, I'm amusing myself far too much. Sleep will defeat one boss or D6 plus L minions if it hits. Monsters put to sleep, count as slain. All right, let's just do it. Let's have fun and put an iron beast, iron chef to sleep. So I need to roll. He's level 2 now, so that's nice. I think it's just the target is the enemy's level, which is 3. Yeah, so I just have to hit with a 2 or higher, essentially. So yeah, go to sleep, Mr. Rust Monster. And I hit, it falls asleep, and we slit its throat while it's sleeping or something like that, I guess. So yeah, he uses sleep for the day. Because it's kind of D&D style magic. Most fantasy role-playing games, the way magic works, tend to fall into 2 categories. There are probably exceptions, but there's a D&D way, which this game falls, in which a wizard memorizes spells for the day, and you have a certain number of slots for the day. Like I think Zoraldo started with 3 because it might have been 2 plus his level, but now that he's level 2, he might be able to get another one. So you memorize them. You could use, you can memorize, say, the fireball spell twice, and you would use 2 slots. And the other way that games tend to use is just some kind of magic points or mana, where you could, you know, use any of the spells that you know, but you just subtract from your magic points. And as far as I'm aware, yeah, this style was invented by D&D, and the magic point style was invented by Tunnels and Trolls, the game that comes up a lot on my streams. That somehow most people have never heard of. Yet it was pretty pioneering. All right. Anyway, yeah, we killed it. So what do we do? One thing we can do is resolve the combat on the sheet here. We will write. He got his Z's. If anybody can read that. Yeah, if the cleric had the fireballs, or if the cleric had the sleep spell, I could have, you know, the sleep, that's where I'm a Viking quote would have worked a lot better. But I don't know. I said it anyway. Yeah, so now we get loot pretty much, right? And still unclear about something with weird monsters. They're not minions, but they're not a boss, yet they have life like a boss, so when you beat a boss, you're supposed to have the opportunity to level up, right? So let me just check the FAQ real quick, as long as I happen to flip through that. Here's what they're talking about, the spell slots, by the way. What happens to the lantern if the lantern bearer dies? A lot of questions about the wizard spells, I think, or spells in general. Do bosses have any treasure when met as wandering monsters? No. Okay, but it's a weird monster. Does that count like a boss? I don't know. It's strange that they don't really say much about weird monsters and how they behave so differently. What did we do last time? I don't think we rolled for leveling up when we beat the other guy with the deadly gaze. I don't know. Weird monsters. I before E, except after C, or if it sounds like an A, as in neighbor and way. And weird is weird. W-E-I-R-D. Alright. This is one of the things I should ask the community, but I'm gonna go with it just counts like a minion, I suppose. I think that's what I did last time. I counted it as minion 1. So every 10 minions you kill, you get a chance to level up, or when you kill a boss, you get a chance to level up. So let's say this is minion 7. This one was a boss, so he doesn't count. Just me winging it. That's how it goes. All right. So does that mean we don't get treasure? Or... I'm confused. In the FAQ, it said something about it was about the bosses, right? If they're a wandering monster boss, then they don't have treasure. But what about everything else here? Oh, I just found something. It's in the things to remember section. Keep track of monsters killed. 10 minions encounters will give you 1 XP roll. 1 major monster, boss, or weird monster gives you 1 XP roll. So really, I could retroactively give myself a level up roll for, or an XP roll for this first guy, and then for the one we just defeated. And this would not count as number 7. Actually, that would mean everything is, I'm not gonna try to go retroactive. What's done is done. And we're counting that first one as a minion because I was too stupid to know better. But now, this guy we're gonna roll for leveling up. Even though all we did was say, go to sleep. And he went, okay. And yeah, let's see, where are we here? Ryan says, how are things on Long Island? Pretty good. Not much to talk about. Same old, work and stuff. Work, streaming, that's about it. Toddler keeping me occupied, of course. Yeah, let's roll for XPs. So the way that works is, don't remember how it works. You basically get to roll for some of your characters, but not all of them, and they have a chance to level up. And the number you have to roll is higher than their existing level, their current level. So a level 2 guy would need a 3 or up on the die, and level 1 only needs 2 or higher. And implied there is that the max level is, I think, 6, but yeah, I think it might be 5 actually. Anyway, whatever. What are we doing here? XP rolls, leveling up. Last time we had 2 characters level up, and I don't remember what determined the number 2. Maybe Arturo remembers. He has a good memory about minute technical details. That's why he's so good at work. Spells, leveling up. Here we are. Every time the party kills a boss, completes a quest, etc., etc. A character of your choice may attempt to level up. Okay. Arturo says the boss? Well, I guess what I'm wondering is how do we level up, essentially? But I think it is just 1 character gets to roll. And the reason why I had 2 last time was probably because it was the final boss. Here you go. If you slay a dragon as the final boss encounter, you get 2 XP rolls. Okay, so let's pick 1 guy to level up, essentially. And the question is who? We could, we probably want to go with one of the people who are still at level 1. Yeah, Stu says, kill a monster like a boss. Take the treasure like a boss. Exactly. I'm doing all this stuff like a boss. But let's level up either Leprechaun the Halfling or Friendly the Barbarian. What do you guys think? I'm leaning toward the Leprechaun because Friendly is badass already, and Leprechaun's pretty useless. So I'm gonna just call it. I'm gonna do Leprechaun, and let's make a roll. This is actually something you don't see in too many games of this style. Usually, it's just you get your experience points enough to make the level, and you level up. There's not like a chance to level up typically. Anyway, Leprechaun the Halfling, can he level up? Ryan says Leprechaun. I agree. 5. He does it. He is now level 2. Woot. All right. So what does that mean for him? He'll get more luck and I guess more life. But one thing I'm not sure of is do you upgrade these stats right away? And if so, I probably have to upgrade Zordo and Ralph Wiggum as well. I believe I glanced at that in the FAQ in the back, so I can check that out real quick. So much for not flipping through the rules much, right? Let's zoom out a little. Boop, 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 boop. What happens when a wounded character levels up? That might be kind of sort of what I'm looking for. When you level up, you instantly add 1 life point to both your current total and your starting life point total. So a character who had 5 life points and was wounded down to 3, who levels up now has 4 life, and if healed, can heal up to 6 points. Okay, so what about like the other things like the luck? I'm just gonna level them all up. So in other words, Leprechaun will get an extra luck point now because it's your level plus 1 luck, I believe. And I think Zordo gets another spell. So let's give Zordo his life. Everybody who was wounded gets an extra life. I guess I should be keeping track of max life too. Whatever. It always seems to be level plus 1. I think no, it's different per character. Okay. In any case, these 3 characters who have leveled up should have 1 more life than they did before. So Leprechaun the Halfling has 2 life at the moment. Pink hearts, yellow moons, orange stars, green clovers, blue diamonds. Yeah, then they added purple horseshoes and then I think red balloons at some point. So we'll say 2 luck is, why don't we say 3 luck is the max? I think that's correct in parentheses, and then 2 here, something like that. I guess that's good enough for now. Once we leave the dungeon, I'll review everything. I think I can like memorize a new spell at that point, but I would think probably not in the middle of the game. And maybe the same thing for Ralph Wiggum. Yeah, they said, yeah, that's right. They just kept going nuts with those Lucky Charm marshmallows. I guess they had a good reaction as far as their sales when they started adding more marshmallows. So they're like, okay, what are we gonna make this month? And Stu says, Lucky Charms trivia: blue diamonds were only added in 1975. Before that, it was just the other 4 colors. Huh. Yeah, so that's before my time. Yep. I guess we are good to keep going. So let's move the party token back through. Now we are in this little corridor here that you can probably barely see, but it is its own entity. So we are here. And let's roll for Wandering Monster. We find another one. Holy crap. Okay. So what do we find? I will again look at that table I found that mentioned how Wandering Monsters work, sort of, kind of. What was it called? Special events table? Here we go. Special events table. Putting on my eyeglasses now for Stu. Alright, wandering monsters attack the party. Roll d6. 1 to 3 is vermin, 4 is minions, 5 is weird, 6 is boss. Reroll any small dragons. We find a vermin. Over to the vermin table. Vermintide. Stu says, Ryan says, Atari missed a marketing chance with Beat 'em and Eat 'em. Why do I read these things aloud before just reading it quietly? Okay, vermin table. Right up here, folks. Let's see what we fight. We fight 3d6 rats. 3d6. I smell a good use for a fireball. And then we can munch on all their toasted corpses. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so 3d6 rats, level 1, no treasure. Any character wounded has a 1 in 6 chance of losing 1 additional life due to an infected wound. Reactions 1 to 3 flee, 4 to 6 fight. Oh, I forgot about the treasure. I didn't really I want to get to the bottom of the treasure. Like, it mentioned that if you find a boss as a wandering monster, you don't get treasure, but I'm not sure about elsewhere. So let me just try to figure that out before we finish this. I probably won't figure it out, but I can check in the FAQ section or the things to keep in mind. Things to remember: lantern. You have 2 hands. Write in pencil. Oh, I didn't know I should write in pencil. Once you exit a dungeon, you can't go back. The dungeon is sealed forever at that point. I'm not going to read what you guys are saying anymore. This is going beyond, well beyond the boundaries of good taste. Remember to check reaction roll, monsters morale, keep track of monsters killed, roll XP immediately. Okay, it's not there. Think about the FAQ. Can I loot the bodies of my fallen comrades? Can I exchange equipment between characters? Can my wizard pick up a sword? No, it burns his hand. Can I chop a troll to bits with a crushing weapon? No, you cannot. Chop meat with a bludgeon. When withdrawing, blah blah blah. Can wizards memorize multiple copies of the same spell? Can wizards exchange spells? What happens to the lantern if the lantern bearer dies? Is a shield considered armor? Can you drop whatever treasure objects you don't want? Cleric are blessing and healing 2 separate things. Yes. I don't have to read them all out loud. I figured it might be more interesting than just staring at the book, though. Do bosses have any treasure when met as a wandering monster? No. I don't know. I guess I should. It seems like for most intents and purposes, the weird monsters count as bosses, so I guess I'll just say you don't get a treasure from weird, although I'm very disappointed in that. But does that mean the vermin still have treasure? Do they have treasure in general? Actually, it says in this case, rats have no treasure. It specifically says on that particular line item in the vermin table. So in this case, we don't get treasure. Also, it actually says, come to think of it, for the Iron Eater that we just fought, it says no treasure. So regardless of what the general rule is, this guy would not have treasure. And it is the same thing for the rat, unfortunately. And also, you know, they're vermin, which don't count for leveling up. So it's kind of a waste to even fight them. So in that case, I could just go for the 50-50 shot of waiting and seeing what they do. And on a roll of a 1 to 3, they will flee. And that would just be the whole fight. But if I do that and I roll a 4, 5, or 6, that would mean they get to smack me first. Or did we decide once wandering monsters you can't actually get you don't have that choice? Okay, I think we decided that. So I guess I'm fighting them, and they're getting free attacks. Let's see how many of them there are. This could be pretty nasty, even though they're all level 1, because 3d6. Here are my 3 6-sided dice. Let's see what happens. We have to fight 13 rats. Holy crap. I think Fireball is sounding good about now, but they get to attack me first. 13 attacks. And even if they all need a 6 to hit every time, No, it doesn't work like that. Even if I need 2 or higher to defend every time, with 13 attacks, it's probably going to be 2 of them hitting. On average, it would be about 2. All right, so let's roll. Let's write up the rats over here. This is some vermin BS. What did I say? 13? 13 rats, and they're each level 1. I guess I didn't have to write 13 here because there's a count section for that. They're still talking about that game? Okay. Yeah, so I guess the way I'm going to play it is I'll just cross off a circle each time a rat goes down. But first, they get to pick on poor Ralph Wiggum and Friendly. So once again, we will do the same kind of randomizing scheme. 1, 2, 3 is Ralph Wiggum, and 4, 5, 6 is Friendly. So I gotta keep track of 13 attacks. There we go. I don't have enough fingers to count on, right? All right, here we go. First rat. He goes after. I think I'm gonna just write I'm gonna just write on this piece of paper right here. It's conveniently located, and we're almost done with the dungeon. So I'll just keep a tally of each attack, and then hopefully we can nuke them all with fireballs. So the first one, he attacks Friendly, and because he's level 1, yeah, he's gonna need a. I need a 2 or up to defend every time. So here we go. First attack against Friendly. Okay, he successfully defends. Rat number 2. He goes after Ralph Wiggum, who also needs a 2 or higher to defend. He successfully defends. Rat number 3, not Ralph number 3, as I almost said. He goes after Ralph Wiggum. Ralph Wiggum defends. Rat number 4 goes after Friendly the Barbarian, and he successfully defends with a 2, just barely. So in rat number 5, he goes after Ralph Wiggum, who successfully defends. Rat number 6 goes after Friendly, who successfully defends. Now we're on rat number 7. Goes for Ralph. Ralph does not defend. Ralph gets bitten by a rat. Rat number 7 bites poor Ralph Wiggum on his bathing suit area. Just trying to keep it funny. So he takes a life point, and then the rats actually had a special ability where there could be like poison damage or something. Not poison, but I think a venom or disease or whatever the hell it was. Messing up my windows as I like to do. Okay, here we go. The rats. There's a 1 in 6 chance of losing an additional life due to an infected wound. Okay, so not a lot, but these guys really get you by the sheer numbers. So let's see, does Ralph take 1 or 2 hits? A 1. Let's say the 1 is the 1 in 6. So if I roll a 1, he takes 2 damage. Otherwise, he takes just 1. Okay, he takes 1 damage. He's down to 2. Ryan says he never would have made it past the rats. He hates rats. Is that Indiana Jones quote? What is that? Is that from Last Crusade? I don't know. I can't remember. You can tell me though. Anyway, I guess we keep rolling. Rat number 8. We'll make this one bigger again. Yeah, isn't that in the when they dig through the ground in the what is it, the library, and then there's all those rats down there. Okay, I think I'm remembering now. Anyway, rat number 8 goes for Ralph Wiggum, who gets, or does he defend? He defends. Number 9. Yeah, I gotta nuke these guys with fire. Goes after Friendly. Friendly defends. Number 10 goes after Ralph. Does Ralph defend? He does. Number 11. Friendly. Friendly defends. Number 12. This is getting a little tedious, quite honestly. Goes after Friendly. Friendly defends. And the last rat leaps towards Ralph Wiggum. Ralph Wiggum gets bitten in the nose. All right. So he takes a life, and actually, if I blow this roll, roll a one, he's actually Ralph Wiggum's actually dead. So he could actually die by this rat. The question is, can I just do a healing now? I don't think I can. It would have to be his action in the combat. So yeah, thanks for taking care of that bot, Stu. But here we go. Basically, if I roll a one, Ralph Wiggum's dead. And that's very sad. Here we go, Ralph. Don't let me down. Whew, that was a two. Okay. But we're not out of the woods yet. We actually have to win the fight still. Let's look up how Fireball works. By the way, now I can, everybody's involved in the fight, so each random attack will go for, it'll go through all four of them. Okay, so let's look up the Fireball. I'm assuming that's going to be like something like I would roll for each one of them, and all in all, I would just need a two or higher to kill each one. That's what I'm expecting. It would probably be Zordo's level plus the die roll versus the level of the rats. Where is this spell? Ugh, killing me here. Page 49. At least the table of contents tells you where spells are. It doesn't tell you where everything is, but it does tell you spells. All right, so Fireball. Let's reduce that guy. This spell works like an attack roll. The wizard adds a level to the roll. Fireball does not affect dragons, but it does affect zombie dragons. Used against minions, Fireball slays a number of creatures equal to... okay. So it slays a number of creatures equal to the wizard's die roll minus the level of the minions. A minimum of one creature is always slain. Okay, so I am level... Or Zordo, he's not me, he's Zordo, he's his own guy. He is level 2, therefore I roll one die and so the number of creatures equal to the wizard's die roll minus the level of, So I'm gonna roll one die, add 2 for his level, minus 1 for the rats, and essentially I'm gonna kill somewhere in the range of 2 through 7 of them, which is actually not as good as I was hoping it would be. Like I was hoping I would wind up killing like 10 of them, but it's 2 through 7. I think that means Ralph Wiggum needs to get healed ASAP, which is okay because he still has 3 uses of healing. Yeah, okay. I was just the gears were turning in my head from last week, and I was trying to remember. Didn't I use healing once or twice? And I think it might have been that I had like a scroll of healing that somebody else had. But I don't know. Who knows? I just have to assume that I didn't forget and that it's correct. So anyway, yeah, what's gonna happen is Ralph Wiggum's gonna heal himself because he's got 1 hit point. Zordo's gonna fireball, and Friendly and Halfling will hack away, I suppose. Okay, so Stu's asking for something like he wants me to name this movie. I don't know what you're talking about. He says Fireball, 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 Fireball. It's actually with all caps and exclamations, so it's probably more like Fireball, 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 Fireball. Oh shit! What movie is that from? And I didn't really mean to kind of turn into Mel Brooks midway through there. I don't know what that was. Fireball. By the way, I got a Mel Brooks collection for Christmas. I want to like go through all those movies. That'll be fun. Yeah. So let's execute the plan. Ralph Wiggum uses healing. Do I have to roll or something for that? Oh yeah, I think somebody might have used a bandage, possibly. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. Stu says the beginning of Revenge of the Nerds, and you actually acted it pretty well. Okay. Fire. What was it? I've only seen that. I don't think I ever really sat down and watched that. I kind of like just. I do this a lot with movies. I'll just like if I'm not super interested, I'll just leave it on, and then like I'll use my computer or something. I've been doing that for like years and years and years. So sometimes people are like, "Don't you remember this quote from that movie?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, I saw it, but I don't really remember it." That's how terrible I am. Anyway, I am looking for healing the spell. Oh, it's not a spell. It's actually his natural clerical ability. It's not. There's no such thing as a healing spell. Stu says that the jocks drank alcohol and blew it out and lit it on fire. Okay, that's how they burned down their dorm. And so they took the freshman dorm. Okay. If there are a Revenge of the Nerds video game, I imagine it would be like Porky's, the game that you played that one time, Stu. So anyway, I'm looking for the cleric. Here he is. So healing is not a spell per se; it is an inherent clerical ability, and the way it works is the cleric may use the healing power 3 times per game. This power allows the cleric to heal a number of life points equal to d6 plus his level. That's pretty good. The cleric may use his healing at any moment, even during a fight, but he may not attack on the same turn in which he heals someone. He can cast it on himself or a friend. Okay. Yeah, there totally should be a Revenge of the Nerds video game. We should homebrew one for like for Vectrex, not Vectrex. Atari probably would be. That's the first thing that comes to mind, probably because of the Porky's game. So we're gonna use a healing, definitely, and it is gonna heal the target for 2 dice plus the level. Sorry, 1 die plus the level, which is pretty good. Let's do it. Ralph Wiggum heals himself. And wow, I rolled an 8. That's gonna take him to his max life, which is what? Again, I should probably just write this. I'll do that this time. I'm gonna write it. So each character type or character class has a different life. It's like their level plus 2 or whatever, something like that. In the case of a cleric, it is 4 plus level. So because he's level 2, he has a max of 6 life, and that's what he's at now. Maybe a good way to write it would be like 6 out of 6. Okay. So Ralph Wiggum's in good shape. Stu says it should be the scene where they peep on the girl's dorm using the Pokemon Snap it. Okay. Did I take him pictures? Okay. All right. Yeah, Zordo is gonna nuke him. So he is gonna roll. What the heck did I say? Yeah, it's gonna be 1 die plus his level minus the rat's level, which winds up being 1 die plus 1, and that's how many rats he kills with his fireball. Let's hope for a 6, guys. All right, 4 is decent enough, so he kills 5 rats, and fireball is done for the day. So we'll write it here. You know, I should be using those markers. Wait, he kills. Did I say 6? He kills 5, right? Yeah, because it's 4 plus 1. Okay, so he killed 5. And I'm gonna find some rats for us. I might have to get inventive and use fairies sometimes. Though. Let's see. Did they give me any rat tokens in Tunnels and Trolls? I don't think they gave me anything. Anything rat-like. There's just too many counters. I'm not even gonna bother. If there's like 2 or 3, it's fun to add a little flavor. But otherwise, you know, with 13, where am I even gonna put them? So you have to imagine the rat counters are there. All right, so we killed 5 rats with the fireball. Ralph Wiggum is fully healed. And now Friendly the Barbarian gets to do some carving. Oh yeah, when you attack the minions, they you can knock out several, right? Because I remember we said last time that Friendly killed multiple enemies with his giant 2-handed cleaver. So let me look that up. I do like the art too, Ryan. By the way, he adds +1 from his 2-handed slashing weapon, which is the cleaver, plus his level for being a barbarian. So it's +2 for his attack. If he levels up, he'll get an extra plus. That's right. Oh yeah. Now I'm remembering. The way it works is you have to meet the level, right, with your attack roll. So if you fight a level 3 monster, a roll of a 3 will kill one, and then each multiple will kill an extra. So if you roll a 6, you would kill 2 level 3 enemies, a 9 would kill 3, and so on. But these are all level 1. So really, this is going to be like, this is going to be funny. You're going to imagine this, I imagine this muscly barbarian like in a frenzy carving up these rats. It's going to be something like, I mean, the worst roll I could get is if I roll a 1 on the die, it would kill 3 of them. So let's see how this goes. And then we have to keep in mind that 6 is an exploding number. That means you add and re-roll. So if you roll a natural 6 on the die, you get to roll another die, which could be like a 6 plus 4 plus the 2 here. So he would hack through 12 of them all at once. And Ryan says, gotta run. So, all right, take care, Ryan. Thanks for joining and enjoy your skiing trip. But here we go. What does Friendly the Barbarian? How many does he carve up? Okay, 3 is a so-so roll, plus 2 is 5. So he carves through 5 of them. He's as effective as a fireball. Hack slash, hack slash. All right, only 3 more to go. Hopefully, Leprechaun the Halfling can carve through the rest of them. So, what does he need to do so? Well, he has a -1 to his attack because he has a light slashing weapon. I think we decided he has like a dagger. So he's like, leaping onto these rats and stabbing them in the face. He does have the luck though, so we can always re-roll if we want to. But let's see what happens. So basically, this comes down to a 4, 5, or 6 on the die, and he kills all 3 of them. Oop, that one got away, but it is a 6, and that explodes. So let's see how many times over we kill them just for fun. 3, so that becomes with the -1 and 8. So he kills he kills all the rats almost 3 times over essentially. That was quite a show by Leprechaun. The remaining 3 are dead. But unfortunately, they don't count for leveling up, and they don't give us treasure, so it's almost like a waste of effort. But we live to fight another day, which brings us back to where we are on the map. We are in this little room, represented by this counter. This is actually a corridor. Oh, did I cheat? I think I cheated. It's a corridor. Oh well, bygones. So what I'm talking about is when you're in a corridor, it's only the 2 front people can fight, and I believe in the case of being sneaked up on, it's just the rear 2 people, except for ranged weapons. So we could say actually it's fine because Leprechaun's sling, he can attack within the rear, and it's the same exact modifier. It's a -1 that you see here. That's why I wrote slash between them. So this is melee and this is missile. And then Zordo, I'm pretty sure you can do the fireball from a range. Actually, I'm not sure of that. But in any case, I will look it up for next time. I feel like I looked it up before and somehow I found the answer was no, that you could not cast spells as sort of a ranged weapon. So I probably cheated, but oh well. I'll be more careful next time. So we're moving down into this plus-shaped corridor next. And let's see if we find another wandering monster there. No. Next up, we go to this corridor east of the 4-way intersection thingy. No wandering monster. Next, we are into this room here. Nothing. Down to this room. We are 1 step away from the entrance. And we escaped. We've escaped the dungeon. We defeated the final boss last time. We're alive. We've leveled up everybody except for the one who's doing all the work, who is Friendly the Barbarian. And yeah, that's it. We won. We can try another dungeon, which I'll definitely do. But let's see what we can do in between. I think we can buy equipment. Our guys have a bunch of gold. And I think I'm just gonna leave it, but I think one thing that I caught at the last moment of the last session was that you're supposed to sort of multiply the gold that you acquire from the final boss. I'm just gonna leave it because I'm kind of accidentally cheating for and against myself. So we'll say it all balances out, roughly speaking. But I'm gonna take a very quick break and use the facilities, and then we will figure out what to do between sessions and start a second dungeon with the same characters. So I'll be back in 2 minutes. I am back. Did you miss me, guys? I think Stu and Ryan went off, but hopefully somebody's still here. Probably Ryan, Arturo, and maybe Rob Bob. Hello, Arturo and Rob Bob, if you're there, or anybody else who might be there. Anyway, so yeah, this dungeon is toast. You can't go back in it when you are done. So let's unceremoniously destroy the dungeon. Ah, no, actually, I don't want to make a mess of my table. I was tempted to just tear it, and then all the corners that I taped down would remain. But yeah, why don't we figure out what to do? I think again we can kind of just spend our money and probably heal up automatically. I would assume um, fun stuff like that. So this thing, I might need like my knife to peel this off. I'm gonna leave it and worry about it later. I'll just tape over it when I go to the next dungeon for now. But yeah, what the heck do we do? We have one. It looked pretty hairy that time when we were fighting the dragon. Otherwise, most of the combats were not too bad. But I did accidentally cheat for a while last session by allowing my halfling to use his sling and to use a melee attack, like one round after the other. But the rule is that you cannot do that. If you use your missile attack or your ranged attack, whatever it's called, first, um, you have to skip the next turn essentially. So what do I do now? Let me find this. By the way, there's an optional rule for random locked doors for what that's worth. I have not enabled that optional rule. And one of our guys has a clue, by the way, doesn't he? Yeah. Ralph Wiggum has a clue. I have a clue. What do you do when you finish? Killing the final boss in its gold is not enough. You actually have to make it out of the dungeon alive. The characters will be exhausted, wounded, and hopefully slowed down by the caskets of gold they are carrying. So the monsters will try to sneak on them. Roll a d6. Yeah, we already know this. Roll a d6 for every room or corridor that you have to cross to get out of the dungeon, including the first room. On a 1, wandering monsters attack. Okay, but then what? Ugh. Okay, I don't know. I mean, I guess I could just assume that when you leave the dungeon, and I know it said somewhere you can't go back in, but I'm assuming I can do all the things I said, like heal up automatically, because presumably I can rest for an indefinite amount of time. um, I can buy all the equipment that I want. But I know I keep complaining about the rulebook, and it just really amazes me how many things are hard to find or they just don't talk about them. Let me just check one last thing, and then I'll just go with what I'm assuming. All right. Let's go with what I'm assuming. Okay, so we have a lot of gold now. We can kind of pull all our gold at this point. Doesn't really matter who carries what. 26 gold on Leprechaun the Halfling, 32 on Friendly. Zorldo has 26, and Ralph Wiggum has 32. Also, we can sell this ring that is worth 1d6 plus 1 gold. Why don't we just cash it out? Cash it in now. There's no reason to hold on to it as far as I'm aware. So we'll erase that ring, and let's roll for its value and just kind of add it right to Zorldo's gold total immediately. So that is worth 6, and therefore Zorldo has 32 gold instead of the mere 26 that he had a moment ago. Okay, that is fun. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna write like the total on this. I'll use this as scrap paper, right? So total gold for the entire party is there. You can read a little better what it's worth. La 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 la. 26 plus 32 plus 32 plus 32. That winds up being 96 on this end plus 26. 122. That should be able to buy us a lot of stuff, or some stuff. And I'm going to assume that all the life totals go up, like I mentioned. I'll try writing all the maximum life that each character gets. So a halfling has how much life? Halfling has 3 plus level life. So he has 5 as his max life. Ugh, give me a second. Five out of 5. All right, next up, Friendly the Barbarian. He's still level 1, but I believe he has like 6 plus his level, something like that. Barbarian has 7 plus his level, so he actually has 8 life. Okay. Zorldo, the wizard. He has 2 plus the level, so he has 4. You suck, Zorlo. But he does have the ability to barbecue rats on demand, so that's pretty cool. And we already did the life for Ralph Wiggum. Okay, so we have our total goal. We have our life updated. I guess his luck would be 3 for Leprechaun the Halfling. Spell slots, how many does he have? I think he gets another one for leveling up, essentially. And probably the healing and blessing abilities of the cleric are increased as well. So let's see. I should be showing the book to make it more interesting, right? So wizard has... It begins with 2 spells plus 1 per level, so he's going to have 4 now, right? Yeah. Any combination of the 6 spells allowed in the game. Okay. I guess I'll just erase... Well, I guess before we start the dungeon, we'll have to decide what he has. And let's just erase them all for now. You can have 4 of them. Maybe I'll just write a little 4 above spells for how many he can have. Okay. Over to the cleric. He has blessing up to 3 times per adventure and healing 3 times. Oh. So he doesn't actually get more of his clerical abilities as he levels up. It's just that the healing is better as he levels up. It's D6 plus his level. And also when clerics cast spells from scrolls, they add their level in the case of blessing. Okay. So let's just erase these crossed off markers here. Okay, now we get to the fun part, which is buying stuff. Woo! So let's find the equipment list. Here we are. Yeah, this is going to be fun. But you can buy the blessing spell? Oh, okay. Yeah, so if you don't have a cleric, I guess, who can cast it, you can actually pay 100 gold to get blessed. You go to the local church, it says. That's what they have at churches. They have things that cure your people who have been turned to stone by Medusa and stuff like that. That's what they had in my church growing up. As long as you donated enough, though. You have to tithe enough. Okay, so buying equipment. What do we want? I mean, we can afford a lot. We got 122. I mean, I feel like I should just give everybody a bandage because each character can use a bandage once per adventure to heal a lost life. That seems like a freebie almost at this price. But let's do all the math. Let's go over everything. Wow, yeah, we can buy some good stuff. And just going by the raw numbers here, we could actually buy anything here except a resurrection ritual. So, um, yeah, I mean, we want to upgrade people's armor and weapons for sure. I'm thinking, yeah, that's what I want to focus on. Shield only costs 5, but they use a hand. So I think we don't want to give anyone else a shield who, basically only the cleric, Ralph Wiggum, has a shield because he's got his mace or whatever in one hand and the shield in the other. You need a hand free for magic spells, so he has his club, as we called it, and his other hand is for spells. This guy has a two-handed weapon, and this guy has his lantern in one hand and his weapon in the other, which we call a dagger. So basically, there's no room for another shield. I think let's look at upgrading to something like Better hand weapon. Oh, where? Yeah, so light hand weapon versus hand weapon. Yeah, there's only a difference of 1 in the cost between those. There's basically no reason not to upgrade. So basically a hand weapon is +0, and a light hand weapon is -1. So yeah. There's also the question, can I sell some stuff back? I don't know the answer to that. Selling equipment, you get half of its gold, costing gold rounded down. And magic equipment can be sold but not bought. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna do some upgrades for sure. There's no reason not to for a lot of these guys. All right, so why don't we start with first of all, since I'm kind of pooling everyone's money over here, I should erase these individual gold totals, and I'll fill them in later if there's any gold left. But I think we're going to upgrade. For starters, we'll start with Leprechaun, the halfling. He has a light hand weapon that's slashing, in other words, a dagger. So why don't we replace that with a regular hand weapon? I think you can even buy multiple, but you can only use one. There's no reason to not. Besides cost, I think there's if I wanted to, I could probably buy like a crushing hand weapon and a slashing hand weapon, just in case I need to switch them up, because there are some monsters that are more susceptible to one or the other. So I think I can do that, but why don't we just start with this straightforward approach, and we'll take away his light hand weapon. You know what, why don't we just leave everything but erase the light part. So that's a hand weapon, slashing. Now he's upgraded from a tiny dagger to, it could be a short sword or whatever it is. Whatever a hobbit can handle, right? Probably can't handle much more than a short sword. Sorry, I mean a halfling, not a hobbit. So he has a hand weapon, and now that's going to cost you. He's going to sell his light hand weapon that costs 5, and he gets 2 back from that because it's half rounded down. And the difference to buy a regular hand weapon is going to be 4, so that only costs 4 gold. Okay, and he has light armor. Maybe that should be upgraded. The light armor costs 10. Oh, you know what? I'll have to look at what he's capable of using, because actually each character class is only capable of using certain stuff. So it could be it could be the case that he can't even use this new weapon. So halfling. Weapons allowed. Light hand weapons and slings. Ah, that's all he can use. He's basically maxed out already. And the light armor too. Oh, that sucks. All right. What are they good at? All they're good at is this luck ability that they have, so they can re-roll stuff a lot. I think they suck. And also they have strong defense rolls against giants, trolls, and ogres, none of which I've actually encountered, so they can't be that common. Yeah, so they're just about the luck. I guess that could be good. Once you get a ton of luck, and you can re-roll very often, those 6s are really powerful because they explode, so I guess it could be pretty powerful when they're high level, if they actually survive that far. But that means he does not get to have the hand weapon. So let's undo what I just did, I guess. Back to 122, and this is light again. So that means, what do I upgrade? The barbarian, I think they can't go too heavy on the armor either. Barbarian is allowed only shield and light armor, but he can use any weapon. So his armor is as best as it's going to be 2, unless I switch to a one-handed weapon and a shield. Let's see if he can upgrade two-handed, or is there just one level of two-handed weapon, basically? I think there's just one level of two-handed weapon, so he's strange. I feel like people are already maxed out, which is very weird. Two-handed weapon. Yeah, that's pretty much it. He can't upgrade weapon or armor unless I want to switch to one-handed weapon and a shield. I don't think I need to do that. Okay. I felt like there would be, intuitively, having played a lot of RPGs and similar games, I feel like intuitively I should be able to just throw around this money and get all these kind of better weapons and armor and things, but it's like I really can't. What I could do though is give him, like I was saying before, different kinds. Like I could give him a crushing weapon, or I could give him a ranged weapon, just in case he winds up in the rear in a corridor, like when we were leaving the dungeon before and getting surprised by wandering monsters. So that could be useful. I could give him a sling or something, or maybe he can use a bow as a barbarian. Yeah, he can use anything. So I could give him a bow. Let's see how a bow actually works. This lets a character perform a single attack before the monsters can act, even when the monsters act before the party. Oh, that's good. Then the bow may no longer be used as the monsters and the characters are assumed to be in close combat. The bow user will need to spend a turn to put away the bow and draw another weapon. That's the only thing. Yeah, let's get one just to hold on to it. Arrows are assumed to be slashing weapons. You may assume that a character carries all the arrows he'll need. They don't want you to get bogged down in counting arrows, basically. But they say if you don't mind the additional bookkeeping, you can keep track of it. Nah. They don't give you any upside to doing it. Like optionally, you may pay more money and do more bookkeeping. Let's not do that. But I'm gonna get him a bow. It only costs, well, 15 is a decent amount, so we're down to 107 to buy our barbarian a bow, and he's gonna keep unused most of the time probably, but we'll see. All right. Now what else to buy? Zorldo can even use armor. Wizard. Armor allowed, none. Weapons allowed, light weapon and sling. Let's buy him a sling. I guess it costs 4, I believe. Yep. Alright, so Zorldo has a sling just in case he has a chance to use it, I suppose. Sling. I'll put the /-1 here, I guess. And he has, for the bow, that would be I guess it's the same thing, +1 plus his level. Wait, did it say a bow was +1? It's not. I think it's +0. So with the bow, he would be just plus level, I guess. All right. Anybody still there? You still there, Arturo? Rob, Bob? Anybody? I don't know if I'm talking to the wall or not. But yeah, I gotta say I felt like I should be able to get cool weapons and stuff, but instead I'm like I can't really do much. But I can buy like a healing potion or something, or a holy water vial. Or again, like I was saying, I could buy backup weapons like the same type, but crushing, kind of. Um, let's see if Ralph Wiggum can upgrade his armor. He might be able to. Clerics can probably wear decent armor. Armor allowed. Light armor, heavy armor, or shield. Yeah, let's get him some heavy armor. Let's do something with that. All right, so we actually have a decent upgrade among our entire party. That's going to be an upgrade from light to heavy armor. Heavy armor costs 30, and he can sell his light armor for 5 because it's, again, half price. So basically, we're going to subtract 25 to buy the heavy armor. So he now has heavy armor. And what does that do for his defense? I guess it's probably going to be another plus. He's pretty well defended. Yeah, look, a heavy armor. A suit of heavy armor adds +2 to the wearer's defense rolls. Certain attacks from monsters will ignore the bonus. Heavy armor makes the wearer slow, so in certain cases, the character will have a negative modifier on save rolls. Oh. Heavy armor is designed to fit one wearer, so you cannot reassign it to another character if the original dies. Okay. So there is some downside to it. I guess it would say on a case-by-case basis, like if you have heavy armor, you're at -1 with this, to the saving roll. But let's just go with it, though. It's probably good overall. That means he has +2 without the shield and +3 defense with the shield, which is pretty fantastic. All right. I guess that's all we're doing here as far as weapon and armor. Well, again, I can always get some more types and stuff. I don't know if I feel like going through all that. They're like, oh, this guy has a crushing and a slashing. But can cleric use a sling? Let me check that. Or a bow. Cleric cannot use a can use a sling. All right, let's buy a sling. That's 4 down to 78. And we have a sling for the cleric. So that means everybody now has a ranged weapon for what it's worth. So what else can we buy? I think holy water was a thing. We don't have enough for a healing potion anymore because that costs 100. Here's the pricing chart again. I guess, yeah, let's see what holy water can do for us. Holy water vial is purified water created by high-level clerics through a lengthy procedure of chanting and purification in a silver basin. A vial of holy water, if thrown as an attack against a creature susceptible to it, vampires, demons, automatically inflicts 1 wound upon the creature. The church restricts the use of holy water, so a party may buy a maximum of 1 vial per character. They don't want you loading up, okay. I mean, I could afford 2 of them. Is there anything else I can actually use my money for? I guess I could give everybody a rope or something like that. Or everybody a lantern in case the lantern guy disappears. Why don't I get 2 holy water, so I'll have 18 gold. And oh yeah, I wanted to buy some bandages. So let's get 1 holy water. 1 holy water, everybody gets a bandage. So that'll be 50 altogether. And I don't know, another rope or something. I gotta say, I know I've said it already, but I really feel like there's not a lot to spend on. I should feel like, well, yay, here's a lot of things I can buy, but there's a lot more I still can't buy. So I'm looking forward to leveling up again and buying even more things. But it doesn't feel like that at all. So it might be fine in terms of gameplay and game balance and stuff, but it's my initial feeling is, oh, that's it. So I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. Let's buy the holy water. Who wants the holy water? You can have it, Leprechaun. So that cost us 30. We're down to 48. And I said I was going to buy what else? Some rope, perhaps. Lantern. Oh, yeah, bandages. Do I have any bandages so far? I don't think I bought any bandages before. So let's get everybody 1 bandage. That'll cost 20, so we're down to 28. And I'm running out of equipment slots in which to write. But I don't think there's any limit in the game mechanics, so I can probably just cram in more stuff if I need to, basically. Each character can apply 1 bandage to themselves per adventure. It heals 1 damage. Okay, so we're down to 28. I don't know. I'll just buy one more lantern and one more rope, and then we'll call it done. That'll be another 8. We're down to 20 altogether. You can have a rope, Zordo, and you can have a lantern, Ralph Wiggum. All right. Well, I don't know if there's anything else to do now except jump right back into a dungeon. Another interesting thing, it almost makes me wonder if I'm doing something wrong or that the game is just very limited or a little of both, is that when I go into a new dungeon, there's nothing that I'm aware of that scales up according to my level. In other words, I'm doing the same thing, it's just from a fresh, clean slate. And I don't know, it just seems like if I do this a few times, it's going to be really easy. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there is something that scales up with your level. Do my clues get wiped out, by the way? I have a clue. Ralph Wiggum has a clue. I wonder if that is wiped out since I left the dungeon. So let me check that real quick. Page 58. Okay, it says when the character has 3 clues gained during the current adventure or over the course of a campaign, your character has discovered a major secret, and it explains how it works. I'm assuming I can, by the course of a campaign, that would mean it could span multiple trips into the dungeon. So, I guess let's just go into the next dungeon. I still feel like I'm missing something somehow, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking for even. I guess let's just do it. Okay. New sheet of graph paper. By the way, I could not find graph paper in the store anymore. I just printed this out. I found an image online. I printed it. I went to CVS. They don't have it there anymore. And then I used the app while I was in there in their stationery section. Like, what do you mean they don't have graph paper? How is that possible? I looked up in the app, and none of them in the area have it. Then I checked Staples, and they had it, but only in boxes of 500 sheets. So I was like, that's a little more than I need. And anyway, long story short, I could not really find a reasonable amount of graph paper, so that's why I printed it out. So let's enter the new dungeon. I'm too lazy to try to remove the previous sheet right now. I think you just removed another roll, so thank you, Stu. I didn't realize you were still here. Okay, let's begin again. Oh, that was an errant piece of tape. All right, the entrance again, right? How many squares is that supposed to be? 5? I don't know if it's written like that in the rules, but entrance. Whatever. So the first thing you do is you roll actually what your entrance looks like. So that is, this time we got a 6. So it looks like this. I think we rolled a, I don't remember what we rolled last time. Might have been a 1. So there's 2 doors. I don't get why it would have them. 2 doors in the entrance. And we go 4 squares north. 2 to the east. Draw that. And then another 4. 1, 2. I think I got that right. I think I messed something up actually. Alright, so there we have it. That's our entryway. I'm supposed to select spells for our wizard friend Zordo, so we can get 4 slots worth. Let's take a look at the spells again. Fireball seems good. Sleep seems good. Protect, it could theoretically be good. But I feel like with all the healing that we have, Protect is not quite as useful. Okay, the spells. Blessing, we don't really need that, I think, because the Cleric has 3 of them inherently. Fireball, yeah, let's take at least 1. I'll definitely take Sleep again. So why don't we just write those again? I guess I shouldn't erase them, but... So Sleep. Fireball. Maybe Escape? The Wizard, how that works is... The wizard disappears from its current location and reappears in the first room of the game. This spell may be cast in lieu of making a defense roll, or it may be cast normally in the party's turn. So it's only the wizard gets... Once again, the wizard will be chickening out and leaving everybody else defend for themselves. Okay. I don't know. Why don't we try Lightning Bolt? We'll get one of those. I guess we'll try one Escape too. We got Lightning Bolt and Escape. Okay. Let's begin. We can go that way, or we can go that way. Let's go to the east. And what we do is we take that this sheet again, and we make a sort of 10s and 1s roll. We will call purple the 10s die. And we got a 52, which means we find this shape. And I'm going with the rule that you can draw it however you want. I don't know if there's supposed to be an official entryway. Like, is it supposed to be from here or here? I don't know. I'll just draw it the way I think is convenient. 52. We'll go like that. I'll draw this in this way. So we have the door here. And we go like that, and up and doop. 2 in this direction. Alright, so by the way, let's get our party order set up. We have the cleric, who is actually a bit of a tank, in the lead, in the front rank, with the barbarian, and in the rear we have the halfling and Doctor Strange. Alright. And what do we encounter? We're going to roll on the, where is that chart? Here it is. Roll D66, which is what I call the 10s and 1s roll. Purple is 10s. No, sorry, that was D6 for the room. We already did that. And then you roll 2D6 for the room contents, which means you add them up, and we get an 8, which is an empty room. Oh, sorry, that's only for a quarter. In the room column, it is actually roll D6 on the minions table. Please, if anyone's still watching, it says there's 0 people. Let me know. I'm probably just going to wrap it up soon if nobody's watching. It feels like it's been empty for like the past half hour. But yeah, I'm having fun with this, but I like to hang out with you guys. So if nobody's there, I'll probably just do this room and that's it. But yeah, minions table, that's what we're looking for. Minions. Alright, let's see what we find. 6. 2d6 fungi folk or fungi folk. I don't know how you say that. In school, they originally told me it's fungi and that people who say fungi are wrong. But then everywhere I go, people say, no, it's fungi, or no, it's this, no, it's... So whatever, let's go with fungi, because that's what I was first taught. So 2d6 fungi folk. That is right here for those paying attention. Level 3, treasure normal. Any character taking damage from the fungi folk must save versus level 3 poison or lose 1 life. Halflings add their level on this save. Oh, that's good. So that's another thing halflings are good at. Reactions. D6. Ask for bribe. D6 gold per fungus. 3 to 6 fight. By the way, I forgot to distribute my money to the... I was keeping a total, like a grand total over here on the graph paper, and I forgot to redistribute that among my people now that we are in the game, and I covered it up, so I don't remember what I had left. I think it was 20, though. But I can peel off this tape and take a peek. Yeah, it was 20. So let's just keep it simple. Each guy gets 5. You get 5 gold, and you get 5 gold. You get 5 gold, and you get 5 gold. All right. Yeah, so how many fungi? It was 2d6, I believe. Yes. Oh, wow. Very few fungi folk. Much, much fewer than average. And that is a proper minion. Hey, Arturo, you're still here. Cool. Yes, double natural one, exactly. Yeah, I guess these guys could be dangerous if there's large numbers, but otherwise not. And this one's a vermin. Oh, I'm doing my counting all wrong. All right. This new guy is not a vermin. Let me fix my count. I don't know. 'Cause I'm trying to count the 10 minions, but this vermin. Oh, this was not a vermin. It's orcs. I just had an errant slash right here. Okay, so okay, we're up to 7. Let's just go with that. This is the 2 fungi or fungi folk. They are level 3 each, I think it said. Yeah. Level 3, and there are only 2 of them. Are all the fungi dead? No, there's 2 left. They didn't really, their spores didn't let them multiply as much as they were hoping, perhaps. I don't know. But let's just rush them. I don't want to have to bribe them. Come on. I mean, I imagine Friendly's gonna hack them up in one big slash of his mighty cleaver. But let's see what we can do. This is gonna be a breeze, right? All right, let's just do it. Friendly goes first. They're level 3. Natural 1 means something catastrophic happens. Ah, oh, I see. No, they self-destruct, right? The fungus self-destruct. These mushroom men. Let's just roll for Friendly. Okay, he gets 5 plus 1 plus level is 7 altogether. That's true. A double natural 1 should be there. Very, very terrible mushrooms. They taste bad. But anyway, Friendly carved them both up in one mighty hack. And now we can have stuffed mushrooms for dinner. That was a little too easy. It's always easy when you have the cleaver-wielding barbarian on duty, perhaps. So we killed the fungus. And we roll for normal level of treasure. Here we are, the treasure table. Okay. Let's roll a 6. Arturo, if you ever just start a channel, you don't have to do anything with it. I'll be able to grant you moderator privileges. And then you can Do something about this. So let's roll a treasure table. One. Oh, that sucks. D6 gold pieces. All right, that's nothing. I mean, I guess there were two mushrooms sitting around. What am I going to find on? So I got 2 gold. Wow. All right, let's add the 2 gold. Who wants the 2 gold? I'm going to give them all to one guy just because I don't want to erase quite as much. So, um, Friendly the Barbarian now has 7 gold. Next up, we're going to move north. We roll on the room table. And we find a 16 room, which is this thing. It's kind of a dead end, but there's a door. So 3 squares up is this corridor. Then it goes out 1. And there we are. We roll on the room table again. Oh, we rolled. It's that natural double one again. This is weird. It's pretty weird, Arthur. By the way, I was recording a video of one of my Tunnels and Trolls videos, right? And you should watch it when I post it. I haven't posted it yet, but I ran into this Naga or Lamia, which is like it was like a woman with like a snake-like body, and it said if you can speak the snake language, go to paragraph blah blah blah, right? And I usually skip the language when I'm creating my character because you can roll up several languages depending on your intelligence attribute. But I usually skip it unless it comes into play because it usually doesn't come into play. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to roll up this thing. The chance that I can speak a snake language is literally 1 in 100. I have to roll an 8 and then a 5 on the 10-sided die. So what I roll? 8 and then a 5. I'm like, what are these chances? Anyway, the dice are very weird to me lately. But anyway, here we are. This is a 2, which says roll d6 treasure table. Cool, I just find treasure sitting there. I'll take it. That was an interesting little Tunnels and Trolls game. You have to see that one. She said, "Yeah, you'll see. I'll show you the video. It was actually quite interesting, our interaction." But I have to upload. I have to do some editing probably tomorrow, or who knows? I might not get the time tomorrow. Anyway, treasure table 6. Nice. 1 random magic item from the magic treasure table, just lying on the ground in this room, unguarded. So down here we're looking. We get a 3, fool's gold. Oh no, that sucks. Oh, it's actually a good thing. I thought it was usually in like RPGs, like you get fool's gold and it says all the money you had on you is worthless. But in this case, it says these magical but fake gold pieces will let the user automatically bribe the next monster that asks for a bribe. No matter what the monster asks, the gold will appear to be enough to satisfy his greed. This is a one-use magic item. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yes, it was quite an interesting interaction with the Lamia. Who wants the fool's gold? You do, Mr. Barbarian, because you have a spot right here. Okay. Let's go through the door, I say. So purple is 10 once again, 64. Huh. That's the same thing I rolled, or it's very similar? I think it's the same thing I rolled last time. Yeah, talk about these dice. These dice are really weird lately. Or it might have been the 16 I rolled before. Yeah, I think it was this one. It's very similar, though. One, two, three, four. Then we go out to put a door right here. All right. And what do we find now? I lost my chart or something. What's going on here? Here it is. Two dice as usual, and we find 11. A boss! A boss! It's a boss! Roll d6 on the boss table. 6 on the d6 is the final boss. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's do it. I kind of hope I don't roll the final boss again, just because I want something different. That would be a little anticlimactic. You just walk into the dungeon, you find another dragon. Yeah, I kind of I mean, there's multiple books for this, but in a sense, it's kind of it seems slightly lame that every boss would be a dragon, every final boss would be a small dragon. But I can always buy more books. There are like kind of more, like uh, less random adventures. I think like more scripted that you can buy, perhaps with more story, but I'm not sure. But this is still cool. They pack a lot into a little booklet. Really, shouldn't really complain. Anyway, we have the boss table in the top left. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my desk a little bit. Okay, let's see what we get. Please not a small dragon. I just want to find something different. 3, an ogre. Okay, that's different. I think the halfling has a special defense against the ogre. But let's read what it says. Ogre level 5, 6 life points, normal treasure. Each hit from an ogre inflicts 2 life points of damage. That's a lot. Reactions: bribe. That's a roll of a 1. 2 to 3 fight. 4 to 6 fight to the death. What was the difference between fight and fight to the death? Can you not run away with fight? Oh yeah, that's right. It's morale. So he will never run away if it's fight to the death. I think I should just charge him. I don't have the money. I have the fool's gold, but I think I can take him probably. Yeah, let's go for it. We can take this ogre. All right. So, what do we do? We write up what he's got. He's got level 5, 6 life points. And he does 2 damage at a time. We have a boss. Ogre. Level 5. 6 life. Okay. And there's only one of him, of course. I mean, I could just try putting him to sleep or something. You say the fool's gold might be useful. Yeah, it could be, but he would only be bribable if I rolled a 1 on his little chart. And then I would lose the initiative to attack first if I roll anything but a 1. And also, if I roll a 4 to 6 on that chart, it would be a fight to the death, so he would refuse to run away even when I halfway kill him. So it doesn't seem worth it to me. In fact, I rarely feel like it's worth it to not just charge him in combat. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something, or maybe I'm just not desperate enough. Yeah, the fighting is the right choice. I agree. All right, so let's fight then. What are we doing here? Let's look at our characters. He's level 5, so every attack needs to basically be 5 or higher to hit. Okay. I'm thinking of kind of my usual strategy. And, Zorldo might be able to use a useful spell here, but we might as well have everybody else hack at it at the ogre first. And depending on how they do, we could possibly use sleep or lightning. But yeah, let's start hacking. Friendly, let's do what you do best, Friendly. Friendly's gonna roll, and he gets. Let's check out the hatred. Somebody hates ogres because he's racist. I think it's just the halfling. Halfling has they add their level to their defense roll against giants, trolls, and ogres. So if he is hit by the ogre, he will deal with it better. You know what? I forgot about the Barbarian's Rage Attack last game. So once per game, which would be a trip into the dungeon, the Barbarian can perform a Rage Attack in which he rolls the attack die 3 times and chooses the best result. And if the Rage Attack hits a boss monster, it does 2 damage. So that's something to keep in mind. But I feel like I don't need it here. I mean, the level 5 is pretty tough, but I think we'll be okay. So yeah, let's hack. What about that bow? Would it be worth using the bow? What was the special thing about the bow? Oh, it was even if they attack first, you can get a bow shot off. So overall, it would not be worthwhile since I'm attacking them, because this is just plus my level, whereas hacking with the cleaver would be +1 plus the level. So let's hack. All right, so to hit him for 1 damage, we need essentially a 3 or higher. Go, Mr. Friendly, go. Ah, 2. Okay. All right, well, that's that. Leprechaun has his -1, and he needs, I think he needs a 6. But we can always use a luck point. He gets a 6. Okay, so that's exploding. We roll more. There's a chance he could actually hit twice. 6 plus 1. Okay, so he hits him once. How can you miss something as big as an ogre? That's a good point. I don't know. Maybe the ogre is it could be he just hit into some armor, or I don't know. Maybe the ogre just kind of nimbly dodged or ducked the attack. Although you don't think of an ogre as nimble usually. But anyway, yeah, good on Mr. Leprechaun for dealing 1 damage to the ogre. So 1 life point down, 5 to go. Oh, yeah, he's actually pretty tough. And if we get him to 2, he might run away. All right, Cleric, do your thing. His attack is essentially 0. Oh. I'm looking at this. Do you remember, Arturo? You were probably watching. He got a magic hand-crushing weapon that's +1. Look at that. I think I forgot to update the attack here. It's something he found in the treasure last time. So I think his attack should be +1. Because a regular hand weapon is +0, right? But he's got a magic one. Oh, he adds his level rounded, half his level rounded down to attack rolls too. He's pretty tough. And he has his full level when fighting undead. So he is actually, if you add up the magic hand weapon and the half of his level, he's doing +2, which is as good offensively as the barbarian right now. I think I've got this right. Wow. Okay, yeah, let's do some damage, Ralph Wiggum. Which is not a sentence I've ever thought I would say, but let's do some damage, Ralph Wiggum. Let's think about what he needs. With the +2 versus it's just like with the barbarian. He needs 3 or higher to deal a damage. All right, so he got a 5. It's not 2 damage though, because that becomes a 7. But he does deal 1 damage to the ogre, which is not bad. The ogre has 4 left. Now the question is, what does Thoroldo the wizard want to use? Does he want to use a lightning bolt, perhaps, or save it? Let's read about how lightning bolt works. Lightning bolt, lightning bolt. Okay, with lightning bolt, this spell works like an attack roll. The wizard adds his level to the roll. Against a group of minions, the spell will kill just one if it hits. Against a boss, it inflicts 2 life points if it hits. I'm kind of weighing the math here, really. kind of just want to do it, but I'm thinking this ogre, he can deal 2 damage, potentially, to just one guy. Did it say he gets multiple attacks? I don't think it did. Let me check that, though. He does 2 damage, which is a little tough. He does not get multiple attacks. I just feel like I should just grind it out, really. And one thing I'm trying to remember, do you, in general, decide who gets attacked, or do you choose? I was doing it randomly, but I'm wondering if I was doing that wrong. Like it might be it's only a random target on your party if the text actually tells you that. Let me just review it. Because if I can choose who gets attacked, you know, I can make Ralph Wiggum bear the brunt of it or something, or Friendly the Barbarian. I don't know. Excuse me. Defending, where is that? How to attack monsters, page 20. What about when they attack you? Why would they put that in a totally different place? I mean, really. Like, have you attacking, and then they don't have them attacking you immediately after that. It's like, whoa. Christ. You choose who doesn't get hit? What does that mean? How's that different from choosing who gets hit? Like it's. Let me just keep digging. It's got to be in here. I know it's in here. It's just so hard to find every freaking thing. There we go. After all the characters in the party have performed one action, each attack, cast a spell, or healing, it is the monster's turn to attack. If any have survived the party's attack, the monster do not roll dice. Those characters who are attacked make a defense roll against the level of the monsters. The defense roll is modified by blah blah blah. A roll of 1 is a failure. Yeah, but maybe it's under marching order. Marching orders are relevant when the party enters a room. Rooms are large enough that all characters can fight. However, characters with bows and slings may use them only on the first turn. After that, they'll be engaged in close combat. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, here you go. Who is attacked right here? Who is attacked depends on monster. Who is attacked by monster depends on 3 factors. Number of monsters, your marching order, whether in a corridor or room. In a room with fewer monsters than characters, which is what we have, each monster must attack a different character. The marching order is ignored. If there are not enough monsters to attack all of the characters, you decide which character is not attacked. That's what you're right. Sounds what you said is definitely right, but does that mean I just choose one guy who's not attacked? Let's read the example. 3 goblins fight 2 warriors, a wizard, and a cleric. The player decides that the 3 goblins attack the 2 warriors and the cleric. The wizard hides. Okay, so they just phrased it a little weird. And they're thinking of an example of 3 monsters versus 4 in the party, where you could say this one guy does not get attacked. Right? So I think what it is basically I just choose who gets attacked. Yeah. Okay. This is something I had kind of forgotten about. I was just kind of rolling randomly earlier. All right. So I did that a little wrong before, but yeah, I can just say I can choose who bears the brunt of the ogre's attack. It sounds like. Let's go with Ralph Wiggum. The ogre is level 5, and therefore, with Ralph Wiggum using his shield, he gets a +3, so I need a 2 or higher, which is as good as you can ever get. So at 2 or higher to defend. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I haven't made Zorldo do anything yet. So Zorldo, I feel like he's just going to smack him with his club. Let's just do that. Smack him with the club. And for that, he's got a -1, so he needs a 6. But hey, the halfling rolled a 6, right? Oh, okay, that did not happen. Okay, so now Ralph Wiggum is going to try to fend off the ogre and needs a 2 or higher. And he does it. So the next round, let's start with friendly hacking and slashing. And again, he needs a 3 or higher. And he does it this time. He manages to do it. He does 1 damage because his total is a 6 versus the level of 5. So he is down to 3 life. 1 more damage, and he's going to have to make a morale roll. Do your thing, Leprechaun. Can you roll a 6 again? He cannot. Should we use a luck? I feel like we're in good shape. Ralph Wiggum attacks, and he needs a 3 or higher, just as before. He fails. Ooh. So it's up to Zorldo the Wizard again. He needs a 6. He fails. Alright, so the ogre is going to attack Ralph Wiggum once more. Same deal. I need a 2 or higher to defend. He succeeds. It was a 2 or higher, right? Yeah, because +3 defense versus the level 5 of the ogre. Okay. So the stalemate that round, essentially. Next round, I suppose. Friendly attacks, and he's trying to do the finishing move, or at least not the finishing move, but enough to trigger the ogre, so he cries. And he does it. He does it. He does enough, but we have to roll to see if he actually gets triggered. So he's down to 2 life, which actually, by the way, that also means he levels down by 1. So even if he doesn't run away, I think that's something I forgot last time, but I just read it in the rules, that when he goes below half health, he loses 1 level. So he's at 4. And now we see if he runs away. So it might be completely irrelevant that he loses a level if he's going to run away. So it's a 1, 2, or 3 is the run away. And the ogre does run away with his tail between his legs, so to speak. All right, victory is ours. The boss is not dead, but it fled. All right. Awesome. And what was that treasure? Normal? Time is 11:30. Okay. Every boss ends right. Yeah, what's with that? I feel like I have good luck with the morale rolls in general. All right, so ogre, he has normal treasure, and yeah, then we get to level up essentially. Okay, so let's level up and get our treasure. I'll roll the treasure first because I can. Oh, and when you fight a non-final boss, there's something special that you have to do that I'll look up. I think you kind of I think if you roll the same boss again, you do a re-roll until you're out of bosses. Eventually, you fight the until you fight the final boss. I guess something like that. So let's roll on the treasure first. We get a 4, which is 1 gem worth 2d6 times 5 gold pieces. So it is worth 7 times 5 is 35 gold. It's a gem though. We cannot split up its wealth right now. It's a 1 unit. So who gets the gem? Zorldo, because you have some space right here. Gem 35 gold pieces. We'll go with that. And we level up. I guess it's time for Friendly the Barbarian to level up, so let's do that. Just need anything but a 1, Mr. Barbarian. You can do it. Yes, he's level 2. So, Friendly is now at 9 out of 9 life. Wow. And His attack will go up by 1 because it's +1 plus level for his 2-handed slashing. So he gets a +3 to all his attacks, essentially. That is pretty awesome. Oh, I forgot to cash in his jewel that's worth 60 last time, huh? Okay. And let me read up about the bosses. A special situation I was talking about, or the special ruling. Boss, boss, boss. Arr. Really gotta bookmark this stupid thing, or make my own table of contents, or my own index. It'll be a B-tree index, like in a SQL database. No, what am I doing? Things to remember. How about that's always helpful, sometimes helpful. You cannot level up the same character twice in a row, by the way. Alright. Yeah, I'm totally printing my own index. Every topic that I possibly ever want to look up. I'm probably better with the post-it notes, actually. Let's stick them right in here. Uh, bu- bu- bu. Um, there is actually there is a rule that I don't know the use of it, but it even said it's not usually useful. But it says sometimes sometimes monsters will run away from a combat due to a failed morale roll or some other game effect. When this happens, each character may perform one attack at +1 at the fleeing monster. In most cases, you can ignore this rule, as it will not make any difference. The fleeing monsters count as defeated, and you get their gold anyway. So, I'm not sure when that would actually apply, but hey, you can attack them at +1 when they're running away for some reason. Maybe you just like killing them. You like blood. Okay, let's figure out this boss special thing. Blah 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 blah. Spells leveling up. It's probably in this section. Maybe, maybe not. Guess not. Here we go, boss. Final boss. That was only the final boss thing that I found. They deserve that last slap, the cowards. Yeah, we could decide if we kill that ogre at the last second. That would be fun. I mean, if you were playing a real RPG, then the game master or the dungeon master could just say, well, the guy who ran away, the ogre who ran away, turned up again later, and he brought friends. So maybe, you might want to just kill him anyway. But in a game like this, where it's all mechanical, you know it doesn't matter really. Oh. Okay, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look it up if the situation arises when I find another boss. So I think it's basically you can't roll same boss again in the same dungeon. And if you do roll that boss, you just re-roll. And I think the point is to kind of eventually funnel you towards finding the final boss. So you can't like fight 20 bosses theoretically. The max would be 6. But I don't know, it's just so hard to find anything in this freaking rulebook. Sheesh. Um, Maybe it's actually written like near the boss table. If I don't find it here in the boss table, I'll just move on. Then when it comes up, I'll try to figure it out. Okay, so it's not written here. And sometimes you can just Google for things faster. Let me try that real quick. Board Game Geek. Why is got this Sonic the Hedgehog song in my head, by the way. All right, let's move on. Boo, 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 boo. So we got our treasure, we got our level up for what's his name? Friendly the Barbarian. And to the next room, we keep going north essentially. Let's make our roll for the room, the random room generator. 31. That is this guy here. All right. Let's find another boss just so I can agonize over finding the rule again. We found 4, which is, ooh, I don't think I've seen this one before. Roll d6 on the special events table. Cool. One. Oh, it's a ghost. Ghost passes through the party. All characters must save versus level 4 fear or lose 1 life. A cleric adds his level to the roll. Alright. So I guess basically 4 or higher for everybody, except the cleric would have 2 or higher. First off, the leprechaun. The halfling named leprechaun, that is. Yeah, 4, 5, or 6 will lose lose a life, I guess. Okay, he loses a life. That sucks. Friendly the Barbarian, 4, 5, or 6. He's okay. He's really solid, that Barbarian. He does miss a lot, but he usually impresses me. Zoraldo, 4, 5, or 6. He passes. And lastly, Ralph Wiggum, who has a nice bonus of adding his level, so he needs, what do we say, 2 or higher? Yeah, 2 or higher. He passes. Alright, so just poor Leprechaun the Halfling got really scared, like in the beginning of Ghostbusters when they find the ghost in the library, and it goes, rah! And all the Ghostbusters tear out of the library. Or are they might be as afraid as that ogre who ran from us earlier. That's another way to put it. Let's see, where is my chat? I lost my chat. Here we go. Thanks for the like, whoever. Yeah, that was that. A ghost. It scared poor leprechaun. Let's keep going forward. Keep going north, north, north until the end of the graph paper, which is the solid dungeon wall that you cannot, continue through. Okay. 65. I find this strange right turn corridor. Huh? Let's get that. That's gonna run off the map. Guess I could just change the angle, but I'm gonna go with it. How many squares is that? So we got this one plus 3, and then a door. That. All right, so we're in a corridor. Let's make a roll. Or the dungeon and room building table. 2 dice. And we get a 4, which is again I was gonna say it's a special event, but it's actually empty on the corridor side. So we can search though. Should we search? Searching is fun. Let's do a search. Now, how does searching work? I gotta look it up again. I know you write an S to indicate that you've searched there. Empty room search table 56. Oh yeah, it's basically just a 1 is a wandering monster attack, 2 to 4 is empty, or 5 or 6 is you find a clue, secret door, or hidden treasure. But when you're in a corridor, you roll at -1. And it seems like I always have the opportunity to search in a corridor, or very often anyway. So it's not great odds, but hey, I'm going to do it anyway. Oh, I rolled a 1, which I guess counts. Well, it's a 0, which is not on the chart, right? I'm only joking. I'm sure it counts as a wandering monster. All right, so we have to fight a wandering monster attack. Let's do it. Which is, yeah, that's, I feel like I'm missing something with wandering monster still, but whatever. I will look at that chart, the special event chart, in which it says, what kind of wandering monster you can fight. Here we go. 1 to 3 vermin, 4 is minion, 5 is weird, 6 is boss. 5, we find a weird monster again. Oh no. One, it is a Minotaur, level 5, 4 life points, 2 attacks, normal treasure. Due to the power of his bull rush charge, the first defense roll against a Minotaur. The first defense roll against a Minotaur is at -1. Does that mean per round or altogether? Minotaurs hate halfling. Uh-oh. Reaction. Wait, what does hate specifically mean? Do they get like a? Do I get like a minus because they hate me? And why are they racist against halflings? We just want to live at home in our little halfling holes and eat food. Reaction D6, 1 to 2 bribe for 60 gold, or I could, use that fool's gold I have. 3 to 4 fight, 6 fight to the death. There's no, they don't mention what 5 is here. I guess it's 5 or 6 fight to the death. It's probably a typo. Uh, hmm. I guess it's probably just the very first attack, not the first of 2 per round. Yeah, so what does hate exactly mean? They get a bonus when attacking the hobbit. That's probably what it is. Is there a definition of hate? I guess it's probably -1 on the hobbit's defense. Well, let's check. Defense roll modifiers. Halfling defending against troll, giant, or ogre. Add the halfling level. No, that's not what we're doing here. I'm going to Google. Minotaur hates halfling. Surprised how little. I figure other people would be asking the same things, but I don't find anything like that. Here, maybe what is what is hate? Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's probably just a -1 to the Hobbit's defense. Or it could be that they always have to attack the halfling even. I don't really know. I wish it was. I wish I could actually look up things easily. Oh, I hate it. I hate this like Minotaurs hate halflings. Yeah. Here. What if I just Google what does hate mean? War against darkness. I find some posts about people who don't like the game. I hate War Against Darkness. Okay, I don't know. I think I just found something in the PDF. I should have the PDF handy at all times. So, hate. Here we go. If the monsters hate one character class, hold on. This is in the context of who is attacked. In a room with more monsters than characters, each character receives one attack, and you roll randomly to distribute the extra attack. Exception: if the monsters hate one character class, they will always perform extra attacks on that class. Trolls, goblins, and kobolds hate dwarves. Orcs hate elves. Undead hate cleric. Okay. So that can't be the entirety of the hate ability, because when is a single weird guy ever going to be, constitute more monsters than characters? It's impossible. It could at best be the same if 3 characters are gone. All right, I'm gonna get to the bottom of hate. Okay, oh, I actually found the section on wandering monsters. Okay. Maybe he shouts nasty things to the Hobbit. I'm actually going to use the facilities another time, so bear with me. I apologize. I will be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. I have the PDF. I can link you to the PDF if you want to help search. So hate apparently has to do with who gets chosen to attack. Let me keep looking. If monsters hate one character class, they will always perform extra attacks on that class. It seems to only apply to the case of in a room with more monsters than characters, as far as I can tell. Let me just find this one more reference to it. It only seems to have to do with extra attacks. So all right, I'm just gonna go with that. It's my ruling. It does nothing for all intents and purposes because you can't. The one single Minotaur can't outnumber any party in this game, right? Because the least amount of people you can have is one, and that would be the same. So I don't know why they say it. They hate halflings just to make you confused by the rules, I guess. But as you can tell, this game is a little bit sloppy. And, you know, it's a good game, but some little things like that are a bit sloppy about. So, whatever, it is what it is. Let's just fight. Did I write down the Minotaur? I don't think I did. Minotaur. He's a weird monster, not a boss. Level 5. Count 1. It has 4 life points. 2 attacks, normal treasure. And, first defense roll is at -1. Now I could just wait for a reaction and try to bribe him, but I don't like doing that. I never feel like I want to do that. Let's just fight him. Okay, so Minotaur, let's see. Level is 5. It's basically going to be about as tough as the last fight. Except, you know, against the ogre, except it has less life and 2 attacks instead of 1 stronger attack. So basically it's very similar. Let's just do it. Let's carve him up. Carve him up, friendly. Here we go. Friendly the barbarian. Now that he's level 2, he adds 3. 1 for the weapon and 2 for the level. So, he needs a 2 or higher. Are you kidding me? I feel like as great as friendly is, I do roll crap with him a lot. Okay, over to... I get so disappointed when that happens. Okay, Leprechaun. Just roll your 6, please. No. Okay, Ralph Wiggum, the cleric. He gets +2, which is not bad at all. So he needs 3 or higher. And he makes it with a 6. So the 6 explodes. 6 plus 1. I always get hyped up about the 6 and it's like, here's your 1 extra. Anyway, so that's 7 plus 2 is 9, and therefore just only deals 1 damage. Now, if this extra roll was a 2, it would be 8 plus 2, and that would mean 10, which is 2 damage against the boss, but no such luck, huh? Okay, so it is down by 1 life and has 3 left. Zordel can just whack it again. Should I just make him whack him? Yeah, I think so. Let's see how these two attacks do with his charging. Okay, so Zordel misses. Now we have to take the brunt. First defense roll is at -1. Let's make Ralph Wiggum take it. So he's got +2 to his defense roll and therefore needs a 3 or higher to fend off the attack. And he does not. All these ones, man. Alright, so he takes 1 damage. Not a big deal. But there is a second attack. And I think Ralph Wiggum can take that one too. In this case, he does not get the defense modifier, so it's a 2 or higher. There goes the focus, huh? There we go. 2 or higher. He needs because he gets to use a full +3. Alright, he barely does it this time. And next round, back to Friendly. Friendly, come on, you can carve him up. Alright, Friendly rolls a 6. It explodes into a 9 altogether. And plus the level bonus, it's 11. And plus the 1 for the weapon, it's a 12. All in all, he does 2 damage. I was hoping it would somehow be 3, but no such luck. Okay, the Minotaur is more than halfway dead, which means he loses a level and must make a morale roll. And as my luck tends to go, and it's not sarcasm, as my luck really tends to go, they very often run away from me. So let's see, 1, 2, or 3, and he runs. It does not run. The Minotaur is fighting to the death. So this time, he's making a stand. And I only need to deal 1 more damage, however, because it took 3 hits and has 1 life left. And only Friendly went this round. Only Friendly attacked this round. So over to Leprechaun, the halfling, who needs a 6. Does not pull it off. I could use a luck die. I don't know. Is it worth it? I feel like not. I keep thinking something is very easy about this game, and I don't think I'm getting anything really wrong anymore, to be honest. But let's go to Ralph Wiggum, the cleric, who attacks at +2 and therefore. Oh, this guy's 1 level lower, right? So actually, Leprechaun only needed he needed a 5 or 6, but he still failed. But Ralph Wiggum needs 2 or higher now at this point, and he does it. He clobbers the Minotaur and finishes him. Yeah, I'm still having fun, but I don't know. Overall, it's pretty easy. Yeah, it's enjoyable for sure. All right, so we kill the Minotaur, and that means we get to level up somebody, and we find some treasure. What did it say? Treasure normal? Normal treasure. Let's roll it. You're not loving. You'll think you're not loving if the boss is running. Yeah, okay, that does. That is true. It doesn't feel very bossy. What is? I think it should happen, but maybe a rare event. Maybe instead of a 1, 2, or 3, the bosses only roll on a roll of a 1, perhaps. I don't know. That would be kind of a rare and exciting event too. Like, yeah, the boss ran away. Instead of like, okay, there goes the boss again. So yeah, I think maybe they should roll on a run on a 1 only. But let's roll what the treasure is. Oop, lost my die. I rolled a 2. It's a boring 2d6 gold. Okay. I rolled a 5. All right, who wants 5 gold? All right, 10 gold for the halfling. And we can level up. Who do we want to level up? And also, yeah, consider that I'm only getting more powerful as I level up, and they meaning the enemies don't get more powerful, so it seems kind of easy. All I can think of is maybe some of the other books are more challenging. I know there's actually one book that deals with characters beyond level 5, which is the maximum in this book, so I think maybe they would be harder you know, that would be a harder dungeon. I don't know. Um, yeah. So let's see. What am I doing? Leveling up. Yeah. Who should level up? That is the question. Should we go with Zorldo so we can get another spell that I don't use? Because it's too easy. Who would benefit the most? Zorldo would get another spell. I don't know. Let's go with Leprechaun the Halfling, because why not? Leprechaun the Halfling needs higher than a 2 to level up. He does it. We have a level 3 Leprechaun Halfling now. And his life goes up. He is now at 5 out of 6. Luck is now a 4. I should verify. Is luck always like level +1 or something like that? I think I have it right. I should just start using luck like all the time. Ah, dropping the book. Luck, luck, luck. Luck equal to their level +1. Yep, okay. Oh, you know what? I can use the halfling luck to re-roll a search roll even, or a roll on the treasure or magical treasure tables. Hmm, that's good to know. I thought it was like just rolls specific to him, but these kind of like more general party rolls would apply to defend, search roll, roll on the treasure or magical treasure tables. You cannot re-roll a re-roll, however. All right, I'll keep that in mind. Yeah. Vumang. Okay. Let's head through this here door. We roll a 66, the final room, which is this one in the corner. It's an interesting looking room. Okay, I will draw it in the same orientation they have it because that'll fit better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. What do we find? What do we find? Four. We're getting a lot of special events lately. Here we are, special events. I hope it's not another ghost. Maybe something fun. I've never seen a trap before. Let's see a trap. I rolled a trap. Okay. I mean, obviously this is probably bad, but it's just something I haven't seen, so it's cool in that respect. Where is the trap stable? Here we go. This is the one I've never actually looked at, I don't think. I might have glanced at it very quickly. Trap stable. This is where rogues come in handy. I think they can evade traps or disarm them or something. But I don't have a rogue anyway. Let's see. Let's just roll. I got a 5, which is beard coming out from the wall. Level 5. Attack 2 random characters. Okay, so how does that work? I have to defend against level 5 where they take a damage each or something like that. Let's see if there's more information. I'm going to go to this PDF again. It's much easier to just hit like Command F or Control F. Traps. Here we go. When a trap is found, roll on the... I might as well just find the page number, then I can show you. Here we go. I can search in the PDF and then use the book from there. I think that's a good plan. Wait a minute. The PDF must be a different edition because the page numbers don't match. Okay. Well, that's stupid. I'll check if traps is in the table of contents. Here we go, 62. Okay, yeah, traps. When a trap is found, roll on the table below to determine its type. Yes, we rolled the spears, which is over here. These are activated by the first character walking past them. End attack 2 random members of the party. A character failing a defense roll loses 1 life. Okay, that's what I kind of guessed. It said defense 5, or level 5, that is. So that means we roll random characters, and they have to deal with a level 5 thing that'll hurt them if they fail. If they really want it to be like, you know, dangerous, it should be like death. The spear stabs you and you're dead. But this game is easy on you, I guess. Where's our characters? Okay, let's say a roll of a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 or 6 is a reroll. 5, that's a reroll. 2, so that is friendly gets poked by a spear. And he needs... wait, do we use our defense from armor? I guess probably. So he gets a +1. And he's a 4, 5, or 6 ultimately. He failed, he gets poked by a spear. But never fear, getting stabbed by a spear is only basically 11% killing him. 11% damaging him. It's not a too dangerous spear, you know. Anyway, who's the other character? We'll do the... I'm never sure if they mean it has to be 2 different characters or you can... I'm just going to roll the same way again. It's fine. Maybe the same guy gets stabbed again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once again. 4. That is Zorlo the Wizard. He's going to get stabbed. He has no defense. So 5 or a 6 is the only way. He fails. So Zorlo takes 3. That is true. Friendly has a lot of life points. He can get stabbed by 9 spears, and at that point he'll die. All right, so where were we? I guess that's that room. I'm gonna head this way just so I don't run into the edge soon. This chart. $65. I feel like I'm rolling these high numbers a lot lately on this chart. Okay, so that is this Tetris kind of piece. Let's draw it like dun 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 do 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 do. Did I get that right? I think so. That's a corridor. Friendly 7. That is minions. Roll on the minions table. If you win, roll d6 treasure table. Okay. Minions table, I roll a 5, which is D3 trolls. This is different. That could be challenging, perhaps. Level 5 treasure normal. Trolls regenerate unless killed by a spell, or unless a character uses one attack to chop an already existing troll to bits. This is probably where that FAQ question came from about can you chop up a troll with a crushing weapon? If this does not happen, roll a die. For every kill the troll on its next turn. On a 5 or 6, the troll will come back to life and continue to fight. Reactions 1 to 2 fight, 3 to 6 fight to the death. What would be the point of even choosing the reaction table then? There's no benefit to it, right? 1 to 2 fight, 3 to 6 fight to the death. So 3 to 6 just means they'll never run away. There's no point, right? If a dwarf is present in the party, the trolls will automatically fight to the death. Okay, so let's see how many. I guess for D3, it would be 1 and 2 is a 1, 3 and 4 is 2, and 5 and 6 is 3. So that's just one troll, so no biggie. So we just have to chop him up. I guess when there's only one. Okay. Yeah, okay. It could still be a problem with one. Alright, let's see. It's a level 5 and it regenerates. But it's still a minion, so it doesn't have life. It's only gonna take one hit. It's just the regeneration is the problem. This might be the last encounter of the evening, for I am getting tired. Okay, trolley. It's level 5 and there's one of them. It has regen, and it is a minion, so this will count as number 8, I suppose. Oh, there's an attacks per round box here I could be using. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so we hack him up. That's what we do. We'll have to hack him really good. So I guess we'll do our usual plan with Friendly the Barbarian starting off. He only needs 2 or higher to kill it, and then another character can spend his action to hack up the body before it regenerates. Actually, given that FAQ thing, I want to read that. I guess it probably has to be a slashing weapon, is what they ruled. Let me check though. Here we go. Right away, I found it for once. Can I chop a troll to bits with a crushing weapon, a sling, or a bow? No, you need at least a light slashing weapon like a dagger. Okay. So I'm probably overthinking it, but that makes me want to use the guys with crushing attacks first, which would be Ralph Hugum and Zordo. I guess it doesn't matter as long as I have one cutting weapon reserved for the end, or slashing weapon. So I could have the halfling attack last. So let's just start with friendly, and then we'll go through the crushing guys if he doesn't kill the troll. Yeah, friendly's is slashing, so I'll save him for last to be the troll carver if necessary. Alright, so friendly just needs a 2 or higher to beat him. And he does it. And then Leprechaun, the halfling, starts cutting him up with a knife. I imagine, a troll is larger than a human, I would imagine. And the idea is he's cutting up the body into pieces so it can't heal it's like a little guy who's probably 3 or 4 feet tall with a knife doing this. And he apparently has to do it fast, really fast, or the regeneration happens. So that's just kind of a funny image. They can just really quickly turn this troll body into mincemeat with a little dagger. But we did it. We beat the troll. And what was that? That was a minion, not a boss. We get, what was it? Normal treasure, I think. Where is that chart? Minions, yeah, treasure normal. So let's roll the treasure chart. And if I get a bad roll, I'll use one of Leprechaun's luck points, which I should be doing more of. So here's the treasure table. And we rolled a 4, which is a gem worth 2d6 times 5. It's not bad. If I let's do a re-roll anyway. Let's just do it because if I roll a 3, that's a cool thing because a scroll, and 5 would be more value to the jewelry or gem. Basically, if I roll a 1 or 2, it'll be worse. I think 3, 5, or 6 would be better, and 4 would be the same, obviously. So let's just use the luck point. A halfling-sized dagger should be like the size of silverware, right? Yeah, it would probably be like, yeah, it would probably be like your steak knife or something. And he's cutting up something that's, I mean, I don't know how big a troll is in this game, but typically in fantasy games, a troll is probably something like 8 feet tall or 10 feet tall, or I don't know. So basically a lot larger than a human would normally be. I would think at least like even if he's the size of a large man, it's just cart magic having to carve it up to bits with like a steak knife in like a very brief time, whatever time a combat round would represent, probably like a minute or less. Anyway, yeah, I'm re-rolling. I might regret it, but whatever. Let's do it anyway. I rolled a 5, which I don't regret because that's worth more money. So instead of the gem worth 2d6 times 5, I get a piece of jewelry worth 3d6 times 10. And that turns out to be 100 gold. Cool. So we'll spend the luck point. And hey, Ryan, you're back? Wow. How's it going? Yeah, so let's take the jewelry worth, what did I say, 100? And we spend the luck point. I was thinking of wrapping it up right here, Ryan. But if you want to stay for a slightly bit longer, maybe I'll just do another room or two. But yeah, it is 12:21 my time. The game's going pretty good. Me and Arthur are just saying how easy it is, though. It's like very rarely do we face any significant challenge. I guess everybody here has taken 1 damage, but it's kind of like, oh no, I have 3 heals stored up, and everybody has a bandage. We can all apply a bandage just once per adventure to heal 1 wound. I feel like I might as well do it right now for everyone, even. I don't know. But we fight bosses, we kill them. Uh, Nothing seems to give me much trouble usually. And I don't think I even picked, well, I guess they're all valuable. I feel like some of these characters are not super great. Like the Halfling, it's nice that he can re-roll things, but he's kind of next to useless in combat. But I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'll wrap it up. And there are alternative books you can buy, like with different adventures in it and stuff. And there's one book that's all for like advanced characters. So this book only supports up to level 5, but there's another book that supports like I think level 6 to 10 or something like that. So I don't know, maybe it'll get more difficult later. But another thing is even when you level up within that scale of 1 to 5, nothing in here gets more challenging that I've seen. So, if you find a band of 3 orcs at level 1 and that's easy for you, then by the time you're level 4 and you find a band of 3 orcs, it's going to be even easier. And there seems to be nothing that ramps up the challenge as you go. So I don't know. It's kind of disappointing, although I'm still definitely having fun. It's just where's the challenge? But yeah, let's wrap it up. So that was fun, and yeah, I don't know if I'm going to continue next week, quite honestly, but I may. My plan, though, is if Rob Bob is not interested one evening, I'm going to play South Park. But also, 2 weeks from now is coming up the 1st of February, which would mean it would be time for Saturday night Vectrex in the dark, which is the greatest stream of all time. So yeah, so something unknown is happening next week, and then Saturday night Vectrex in the dark in 2 weeks. And this week is Monday Mame, in which I believe I will be playing Chrono Trigger for our man Janice, who is out of the hospital. He was sick with COVID. I should probably ask him how much he wants me to talk about things like that, quite honestly. But he is doing better now, is my understanding. And that's all, guys. So thanks for joining Arturo and hanging out with me and Ryan while I kill monsters and Stu as well, although he's gone now. Oh, cool! I got 5 likes. Thank you for the likes. I don't know who gave me all these likes because I only noticed a few of you guys in the chat. Basically, Arturo, Ryan, Stu, possibly Rob. Bob was watching quietly, so that's 4 likes potentially, and some mystery person. Maybe it's the bots liking me. But anyway, I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, liking is good. It's encouraging when I get likes, especially when I get these dislikes too. It's nice to know, like if you look at my last Vectrex stream, I got 12 likes versus the 1 dislike. So the 1 dislike doesn't seem so bad. But if I have a stream when I get 2 likes and 1 dislike, it's a little bit, that sucks. Anyway, that's all. Have a good night, guys. See you next time. Take care.